I have been mostly prepping Black Gang Ammonite Part 2.
Anyone up for a nice rum and coke?
Lovely.
No. This is not coke. You wouldn't want to drink this too much. Ammonite's just having a tiny little bath in a bit of vinegar. Can't do this with all ammonites or fossils because they will melt and fall to bits. Obviously you don't want to leave these in for too long. I'll leave them in for about half an hour and then we'll get them out, give them a good scrub. See how we go. You can see the reaction, you can see the bubbles fizzing. So now she's working good. No. Top tip this is.
11 minutes later.
"10 minutes in the magic bath, she's still fizzing away. Just gonna agitate the old bag, give her a little tiny scrub, get toothbrush wet. Just a tiny quick scrub just to get things moving, get it in there, get it back in there. You can see straight away the colour's coming up lovely now with the ammonite. It's taken that little layer of dust off of it. Still all this matrix. It makes it a little softer. Actually, don't want to scrub this side too much because that's where I want to glue it back on. You can see this is deformed. Not sure we're going to have a centre here. Not seen anything popping out of there yet. We'll have a proper dig around in there later and see if we can find anything of the centre whorls. Right, we'll get on with doing its lump. Just mop up the vinegar. Already that looks quite nice, but I'm just going to round it off because I like it smooth. So for that I'm going to use, got lots of different bits for the rotary tool. I'll give this one a go. Nice little shape. Mr. Aldi's rechargeable ferret. Easy to change the bits. This is going to make plenty of dust. Got my extractor going. Going to whack my mask on now. Really should have it on all the time when prepping stone because it's not good for your lungs. And always got your ear defenders because I'm fed up of my ears ringing. Too many years of raving. Just put my mask and everything on. Eye protection as always. Already a lot smoother, a bit more pebble looking. Managed to keep that tiny little bivalve shell on the back of there. Have a little grind around here, tidy that up, and then we can get on with the rest of the prep of the Ammonite. That's looking a nice shape now. It's getting there. But that this bit I've been using, it's getting a bit gnarly and not smooth enough, so I've changed it for a nice smoother one. And I'll just get out. That should take out all those horrible little tool marks. Now that's pretty much nice and smooth now, almost there, but my OCD spotted a little bit. It's just not quite smooth around the side of this Ammonite. So I'm going to get this little diamond tip jobber on the rotary, clean around in there. And then more OCD. Still could see just a little bit of tool mark, so I'll go over that with a bit of sandpaper. By hand's always the best way. Look at that, much smoother. Bit more roundness to it. So I put my mask back on and get the hair out of my mouth. And then just get inside of here and sort out this little bit. I think that'll do. That'll do now for a little bit of sandpaper action. Well, the Ammonites have finished having their little bath. Just off a camera, I've given them a little scrape, cleaned them up, just taken the matrix off. Still got a little more to do on this side. Just like push into it and it pops off. Lovely. I could use the engraver on this right now, but I just want to take a tiny little bit off of this before I stick it back home onto its matrix. Unfortunately, I already know there's no centre to this ammonite. You see, the dentist tools are really good for picking in and scraping away. Pretty cheap on eBay. You can find these less than a £5 you could get a set of. So you're just digging it in, you're giving it a little poke and a push. I'm not going to bother digging too far. I'm going to end up going through the other side and making a hole, as there's no centre to this. There's no inner whorls. This little nugget had a bath, but not quite as long as the others. So there's a little bit of a scrape. You can see the matrix there, just tiny little knobbly bits. They just rub off easy with the tool here. So a little bit of matrix on the end. Now it's close to the ammonite, just give it a little poke and a push and it pops off. Not going to bother too much there because that's going to be hidden anyway. And our little ammo with the centre I didn't think would come out popped out beautifully with the tungsten tip. Just went pop. Don't get many. Come on, camera. Don't get many popping nice and like this one. Now I've got to try and figure out how they went and glue them back onto here. This one's easy. I think we'll go with the big one first. Before that, we'll begin with they've already, as you can see, they've cleaned up lovely. You can see the sutures. They've got a little bit of a shine, but I'm just going to give a little go with the old braise wax. A new weapon in the arsenal. Braise-wax, beeswax boot polish, furniture polish or something. This will help just bring out the colours and help bring back that nice natural shine the ammonite would have had when it was alive. And the tiddler. Usually I'd use a little bit of clear boot polish. That helps highlight the nice colour of the ammonite and brings them back to life. But I've just recently started using this braise-wax stuff. This is the second go I've tried it on stuff. Try not to get it on the matrix. You don't want that getting shiny, you want to keep that nice and dull for the contrast. Just give them a few minutes to dry out and we'll give them a buff off.
A few minutes later.
They've had a few minutes now to dry off, 5 minutes, something like that. Just going to give it a little brush with the clean brush written off on this so I can remember not to put anything on with it. So it should be relatively clean. Look at that, it shines straight away. Just taking the excess off of the beeswax and giving it that light buff. Looks a million times better. You can see the suture so much more now. All the shadows that the shine gives. It's not just the shine, it's the shadows.
The shadow.
That'll do. Before. Detail now. Just get this tiny little nugget. Try not to get it on the matrix. It's got nice. Right, now to try and reattach these buggers. I know this big bugger goes on something like that. There we go. It's locked in. A bit of glue. Now to try and get it back in that spot. Oh my god. First time. Hopefully there's enough touching it glues together. I've cleaned that out a little too much. Whoop. There we go. I might just dob a little bit down in there where I can see it touching. Good old Poundland glue, good stuff, much better than that Loctite rubbish. Loctite, you can't even squeeze the bottle. And Loctite's probably half the amount as what's even in this bottle, and I've used a load. Oh, sod it. Let that dry off the camera for a minute.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
That side's glued on nicely. Make a nice little piece. Now we bring these two back together. Put a bit more super glue on this lovely cast. try not to put too much on, I don't like it splodging off all over the place. Right, let's try and get this on where it's supposed to go. Sweet. That's locked in. Give them a little pinch. We've still got the little clam on there. If that wasn't there, I could have made a little stand. I'm just going to leave it as it is. There we go. Back together. Back on the matrix. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.